We have gone through 4 industrial revolutions in the U.S. Why does the AI revolution scare people the most? Well, industrial revolutions are nothing new in the United States. We have gone through 4, including the current one that we're in. And yes, it's an industrial revolution. The first one came in the mid-18th century when changes came for water power, steam engines, and textile manufacturing. The second industrial revolution was in the 19th century, the mid-19th century, when steel became a big factor along with electricity and mass production. And that kind of scared people too about their jobs because mass production, like, oh, they need less people. So that scared people quite a bit. We also saw transportation by railroads and automobiles during this revolution. The third industrial revolution came around about the mid-1990s. And some of us who are 50 years or older may remember the effects. Electronics, including personal computers, information technology, and this scary thing came out called the World Wide Web were developed during this revolution.
As I said, the fourth industrial revolution is happening now, and it's scary because we don't know what the future holds. This revolution includes digital, physical, and biological technologies. This includes AI, the Internet of Things, and robotics as well. The reason this is scarier than the third revolution with personal computers was that people could see how they could benefit and get more done and maybe use that computer to start a web-based business. Currently with AI, people are not seeing how it will benefit or improve their lives, but only how it could take away their livelihood by making their job obsolete. And, kind of looking at the World Wide Web, I mean, gosh, it is just so crazy the efficiencies that came about from that. And I just sometimes do wonder if people's like, oh, AI is so much. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it has to be pretty crazy to beat the World Wide Web.
Well, and also, too, I do remember that time frame that people were kind of concerned as well because the internet, there was talk about, yes, these computers are going to take away, and it did. It saved a lot of time like AI is, but this one seems a little bit different because we don't know, and it always feels different until you know it. Point being that it could turn out to be better than we think, making us more efficient, but there could be a slowdown also in the advancement of AI, similar to what happened in the late 70s with nuclear power. People as a whole rejected nuclear power, and it has taken almost 50 years to be accepted, which you can now see in today's newspapers. You'll see more about nuclear power. It's coming back, but a 50-year time frame to get back because people reject something as a whole. It's just not going to come into that. So if we do the same thing with AI, it's going to slow down.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of look based on history, it looks like the acceptance of AI may slow down because polls show that just 40% of people said that the AI industry could be trusted to do the right thing. And then 57% say the government needs more regulation on tech and AI. Maybe your job is safe for longer than you thought, as again, this AI push could maybe be peaking.
Yeah, and that's what we're thinking. But what's not slowing down is the investment, the borrowing, and everything that's going into it. And this is why we talk about, yes, it is here to stay, it'll be here. But the pace, and we've talked about this in the past as well, where how fast they tried to build the internet with all those, what do they call them, dark cables and everything. They overbuilt too quickly. Happens in many things. In real estate, we've talked about apartments, the same thing. They're building so many apartments. Well, you're way ahead of the time, and eventually they will be full. But this is why we talk about from the investing side, be careful of overpaying for any investment that is just like way overpriced because, and we've talked again, and we'll always remind people, it took Microsoft, 15 years to get back to break even, I think it was.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing that I kind of look at too is with these data centers, you kind of talk about the cables, I'm going to use the Chinese real estate act because they actually called them ghost cities where, you have this. I think you could have ghost data centers. And the big problem is this still has an impact on people. And this is why I think people are starting to get frustrated with it is the energy and the cost associated with these data centers are getting so crazy. I think in Virginia, they've seen electricity costs rise about 20% year over year. So people are like, whoa, what the heck? Like, I don't want to pay for this. And I think there's just this kind of public pushback as well at times. And if you live around a data center, I've seen some videos of, and you don't know how fabricated they are, right? Of like, oh my gosh, this is all changed. Now my water's not as clean. I mean, if it is truly having this impact on society that's not as positive as people want it to be, you're going to have this negative reaction to it. And that's where that slowdown could occur. And I just think, as you said, that overinvestment could again lead to a lot of people losing more money than they thought was possible.
And that's what we talked about. People say, gosh, you guys are a very common sense approach when it comes to investing. And that's what it's about. I mean, investing, it is difficult because you're trying to invest for the future. But you got to have common sense. You can't just like buy something just because AI. That didn't work out very well with .com either, or nuclear power back in the 70s. So this is why we talk about this, to try and make you a smarter investor so you can build your long-term wealth.
What is funny, the only reason that nuclear power has come back into play is because of AI, because we need power. Like, I don't think if we would have had AI, I don't think we would have had this push back towards nuclear power.
You're right. You're right. But things keep changing.